Today I'll be talking about how to find factors of a number. So, quick definition of what factors of a number are. So, the definition is an algebraic expression or a number that divides another expression or number equally, which leaves no remainder. So we're now in the definition, it talks about algebraic expression. So we're not going to be focusing on any like algebraic expressions in this video. That will be talking about that in the future. But we're going to focus on finding factors of a number. So examples would be, so let's say to find a factor of a 12. So certain examples, so numbers that can factor into 12, that can divide into 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. The reason being, if you a factor because dividing 12 into 1 is going to give you no remainder, which is 12. 12 dividing it with 2, it will leave you with 6, no remainder. 12 divided by 3, 4, no remainder. And 12 was divided by 6 is 2, no remainder. That's why all of these numbers are factors of 12. Now keep in mind, there are two certain numbers that will 100% be a factor. One of them is 1, and the other number is the number that you're trying to factor. So in this situation is 12, right? So we have 1 and any number that you're trying to factor. Okay, so you have the two numbers once again, 1 and any number that you're trying to factor. So in this situation it's 12. Say for example, trying to find the factor of 37. 37 100% of the time. Finding a factor of 6, 1 and 6 will 100% be factors. So now how will factors help us? So factors will help us find LCM and GCM. Now these two, LCM and GCM, these are not going to be what I'm going to talk about in this video. These are going to be in future videos. So LCM is known as least common multiple, and GCM is called greatest common factor. All right, so with that out of the way, let's move on. Let's find some numbers to factor. Okay, so the first one, we're going to find factors of 8. So how to do this? So start off, let's get, obviously we already know two numbers is 1 and 8. But I'm gonna put 8 at the end, so I'm gonna start with our number 1. And so we got our number 1. Now the next numbers. So how to find the next numbers? Well, let's try to divide 8 with 2. So try to divide 2 divided by 8. 2 can go in 8 4 times. So 8 down here, subtract 0 gives you a 0 remainder. So 4 is another one. Let's see if we could divide 8 with, let's try to divide 8 with 4. 4 can go in 8 2 times, gives you another 0 remainder. So we could put 2. 3 cannot go in 8 because there's 3, 6, and then it will be 9. So that will not be the case. 4, we'll put 4. And if you're wondering if there's any more if you're wondering when to stop, I would say you stop right when you reach the halfway. So what I mean by that is, since 4 is half of 8, right? Like since 4 is half of 8, you would stop at the number that's half of the number that you're trying to factor. So since 4 is half of 8, you would stop at 4, and there's no other numbers other than 8 that you can factor. You cannot factor 5, 6, or 7 since um, it is over the halfway point. So you would just leave it off with 8. So our numbers that we can factor with 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Pretty simple. We'll move on to another one. Alright, now we have 24. Let's see what numbers we could divide 24 with. Obviously, we have 1. 2 can go into 24 12 times. So 12 is already a number. And also to find out the halfway point and stuff like that, that has to be done with only that can only be done with even numbers. So since 24 is an even number, that the halfway idea, like um the last one, will work. If it's an odd number, that will not work. So keep that in mind. So we have 1. 2 is already going to be 1 because also another thing to keep in mind, 2 will always be a factor if the number you're trying to factor is even. So 1 and 2 will always be a factor in even numbers, and also the number that you're trying to factor itself too. So yeah, 24 will obviously be 1, 12 will be 1. Now to find the rest, let's see. So for 3, let's see if we can divide 3 with 24. 3 can go in 24. See, 3 can go with 24. 8, right? Yep, 8. So 8, 24. 0 will give you a remainder. So 3 and 8 are already. So 3 and 8 are ones. So we got 3. Let's see if 4 can be a factor. So we have 4. 4 can go in 24 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Yep. So we have 4. 6 is obviously 1. 8 is 1. 9 can go into 24. 10 can go into 24. 11 can go into 24. 12 can go into 24. And then since that's the halfway point, only one number left, and that is the number that you're trying to factor itself. The number that you're trying to factor, that's 24. And that is the final. That is the final one, and that is the factors of 24. Very, very simple. And the more you go, the higher the numbers, the more longer it will take. But the more you do them, the easier it will be. Let's move on to another one. Okay, let's see. Trying to find the factor of 7. Obviously, 1 is going to be 100%. Now, 2 can't go into 7. 2, 4, 6, 8. That can't work. 3 can't go into 7. 3, 6, 9. 4 can't go into 7. 4, 8, 12. 5 can't go into 7, and so on. 6 can't go into 7, and so 7 can go into 7. And that's it. Only 2 numbers can go into 7. That's pretty much it. Very simple. Once again, like I said before, these are the same 2 numbers that can go into any number, except for, and I should have said this before, except for 1. Factors of 1, only 1 can go in. Only 1 can go in 1. So yeah, 1 and 7 is your final answer for this one. Alright, let's finding the factors of 35 now. Now, there's definitely more than 2 numbers. It's definitely not just 1 and 35. There's definitely more than that. Now, since this is an odd number, 2 cannot work. Can 3 work? 3 cannot work because 30, 3 times 10, 30, and it'll be 33, then 36. Nope. 4 can't work because 4 times 6 is 24, then 28, then 32, and then 36. So no 35 for that. 5 will work. So yep, 5 will work. All right, now I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna quickly mention one thing. Either ends with 5, or is five itself. So here's the full thing. So any number like 15, 10, 20, 25, 45, 100, 200, 5 will always be a factor 100% of the time. That any number that ends with a 5 or a 0. So that's that. Very important to know. All right, now let's move on. So we have 1, 5. Now, all even numbers don't work and when there's an ending of 5. So that means that 1, 5, any even numbers cannot work. Let's try, can 15 work? 15, 30, 45. Nope, that cannot work. So 1, 5, 15 can't work, 25 obviously can't work. So last number is 35. And that's that. We'll go on to one more. We'll do one more. Alright, now the last one. Find factors of 50. Once again, 1 will always work. Now, since this is a number that ends with a 0 and is an even number, 2 will work. Alright, let's move on to 3. 3, 50. Can 3 work? 3 can't. Can 3 times 20 is 60. 3 times 18 is 54. 3 times 17 is 51. 3 times 16 is 48. My bad. 48. Yeah, it can't work. 3 can't work. Can 4 work? 4, 10, 40, 44, 48, 52. No, 4 can't work. 5 will 100% work, since this is an ending of 0. 6 can't really work in this situation. 7 can't work. 8 can't work. 9 can work. 10 can work. 10 times 5 is 50. No remainder. 11, 12, 13, 14, they can't work. 15, can 15 work? 15, 30, 45, 60, nope. 15 cannot work. 16, 17, 18, 19, they will not work. 20 cannot work. 21 cannot work. 22 cannot work. 23 can. 24, no. 25, yes, because 25 multiplied by 2 will be 50. So 25 will work. And since this is the end, this is the halfway point, no other numbers will work. No other numbers will factor other than 50. And that's it. That will conclude today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.